Welcome Congressman French Hill, Republican of Arkansas, and member of the House Financial Services Committee on Capitol Hill. Congressman, thank you so much for your time. Will we see another stopgap measure next week?
Well, I think what's trying to be done now is to get a caps deal on spending for the balance of FY18. That's the important thing that President Trump's leading the negotiations on. Once we get that, then we may have a short-term continuing resolution in order to put that final bill in form that can pass both houses, but it's the caps deal that has to be set first.
Well, Congressman, on the issue of the caps deal, there's also the issue of the wall. And it seems like a lot of Republicans are divided in the notion of whether or not DACA should be tied to this. Several Senate Republicans coming out earlier today and saying that they want DACA not even attached to this at all. What do you make of that?
Well, Kevin, hi. In my view, DACA should be tied to our plans for homeland security, both inside the country as well as along the border. That's where I think most House Republicans are, is we would like to see an equitable solution for our dreamers, but we want to tie that to border security and homeland security improvements in interior enforcement.
But even that debate is very mingled right now. The president's positions keep changing. He keeps emphasizing a comprehensive immigration bill. So are you pursuing a separate DACA deal first or an immigration overhaul together with it? What's the time frame of this? What is the president saying, and what do House Republicans want?
Right. Well, thanks, Shery. In my view, look, the arrangement between Democrats and Republicans meeting at the White House with President Trump this week was all about setting 4 priorities. Dreamer equitable solution and the border and interior enforcement issues. They agreed to that, and that's what's being worked on right now. It's not per se connected to the spending caps negotiations that are on the way as well. So I don't necessarily view those as connected. Could they be? Possibly. But what I see happening on both sides of the Capitol right now, based on that Trump meeting, is working on how to increase border security, interior enforcement with an equitable solution to the dreamers.
That's what was agreed at the White House. But then House Republicans came out with a different proposal that was much more hardline and expansive. So are House Republicans on the same page when it comes to what you want?
I think so. I think Chairman Goodlatte, Chairman McCall's effort that they introduced this week contains those 4 priorities. Yes, it includes other things like a guest worker program for the agricultural industry. I think is fantastic, but it does break the chain migration situation. It does deal with the diversity lottery issue, all the things that were talked about in the White House meeting. But I agree, the Chairman Goodlatte and Chairman McCall's bill is a bit more expansive, but it's still in the theme of those 4 core areas.
Well, let me pick up on those 4 core areas, Congressman, because I think the business community, especially folks out in Silicon Valley, they've really made their case known on the dreamer issue in particular. 800,000 young dreamers here who are impacted by this. And I guess to those businesses that are impacted specifically by these policies, and I have to be honest here, I'm not pointing fingers at either side here, but there's a lot of confusion coming out of Washington, D.C. on immigration policy. What's your message to the business community who are just trying to piece together what the policy is going to be, Congressman, when it comes to these dreamers?
Well, I think the goal would be, Kevin, to have the people who are registered under DACA, the dreamers today, be granted working privileges in the United States on a renewable basis for an extended period of time. And then they would pursue a ordinary course, a normal course of business to pursue citizenship, such as marrying an American or pursuing the normal waiting in line process for a green card. But it would remove the concerns about the expiration of their status. They would be granted working capability in the United States on a renewable basis. And I think that would be good for the dreamers and good for people concerned about hiring them. Or, I've heard the issue in my state when I've met with our dreamers about their acceptance into graduate school or financing for graduate school or undergraduate school.
And Congressman, we're now getting breaking news out of NBC reporting that Senator Jeff Flake Is saying that they're at a deal when it comes to that DACA bipartisan working group. When he's saying we're at a deal, is this a separate issue with the Senate and the House working separately? What would this mean when it comes to a bipartisan deal?
Yeah, thanks, Shery. So after the meeting at the White House with on a bipartisan basis on the subject of immigration and the Dreamers, both the House and Senate said they would work together with officials in the Trump administration to put together what they could agree on bicamerally and I hope bipartisanly on those four core areas. And so that's what's been going on now, and it doesn't surprise me that progress is being made. I hope it has.
Very quickly, Congressman, Ed Royce announced his retirement. He was a favor to be the front runner of the Financial Services Committee, replacing Chairman Hensarling. Any interest on your part to be chairman?
Well, I'm afraid I'm a little junior for that, Kevin. It would be a dream and an honor. I'd be humbled to do it, but I think I'm a little junior in the pecking order here. not from a longevity point of view, as was said back in Raiders. Take care, my friend.
Thank you, Congressman. All right, Congressman French Hill, Republican of Arkansas. Thank you for your time. This